Alright, once I come in, I already checked my wheels. I had you check my lights, my exterior lights front and back. The first thing I want to do is I want to adjust my seat, make sure I'm okay. Yep, that's about good. The first thing I want to do is I want to start off with my seat belt. I want to check my seat belt to make sure it's not frayed, not teared, not ripped in any kind of way. I want to make sure that it opens and unlocks. Make sure you do exactly like I'm saying it. Right, I turn everything off. I'm checking my seat belt. I adjusted my seat. Now I'm going to do my first safe start. So the first thing I want to do is I want to put my auxiliary on, because I want to make sure that I check that my truck is in neutral. My truck is in neutral here. It's in neutral. I want to check my brake supply. This is a safe start. Now I want to turn the key to the right. Make sure it comes on. Get a little bit of gas to turn it on. So my truck is on. Now notice what I'm going to do. I'm going to start from the outside in for the end cap and work my way in. So 10 things that I have to mention. So I got my hood mirrors and door mirrors. They probably not secure, they're not cracked, they're not broken, they're adjusted to me. Notice how I'm going to work in like this half windshield, I'm working in. Hood mirrors, door mirrors, not cracked, not broken, adjusted to me. Next that comes next, I got my wipers and washer fluid. All I do is push the lever in, push it in like this. Hold it for a second. My wipers and washer fluid, properly secure, not cracked, not broken. Next that comes after my wipers is what? Is my windshield. My windshield not cracked, not broken, no illegal stickers, no damages on it. Looks good. Next, after my windshield, what comes? It comes my gauges. Here's my gauges. I'm working right towards my chest. I got my gauges. I have my oil temperature gauge. This is the proper level and it's working. Everything is always working. I got my RPM gauge. That gauge is working. I got my water temperature gauge. It's rising and probably working. I got my primary and secondary gauge. They both are working. And they should fill up between 120 and 140 psi. I got my fuel gauge. I got enough fuel to perform this test. Here I got two fuel gauges. Matter of fact, no, that's my depth gauge. My fuel gauge, I got enough fuel to perform this test. My speedometer, I'll check it when I move my truck for my service brake test. And right here, you see that 14.0? I got my voltmeter is working. It's between 12 and 15 volts, so that's working. That's a good working order. Next, working my way towards me. Before my horns, I got my light indicators, because I also want to check my light indicators inside the truck. My left turn indicator is working, I can see it. My right turn indicator is working, and I'm going to push it up like this, and there's my high beam indicator. Y'all see it right there? Yeah. That blue light is working. And my four-way flashers is working, indicators. So that's my light indicators. Next, my city horn is working. My country air horn is working. Next, I'm going to go over to my right. I'm going to check my heater and defroster. I'm turning everything to the right. The defroster, my defroster's working. Yeah, that's working good. All right, now I'm going to check my heater. Put my heater right in here in my face. Or underneath. Put it here underneath. My heater's working. Turn it right off. So those are working. Those are in good working order. Next, I always leave my FETs for the end cap. I should have 6 spare fuses in my glove box. If they're not in there, they're behind me. They should be in my doggy box with my 3 reflective triangles, not cracked, not broken, not damaged, or behind my seat. Here on my left side, I should have a 10 BC fire extinguisher, fully charged to the green and secure, not damaged, and that completes my in-cab inspection. All right, so I'm gonna turn this off for a minute. Now notice the 10 things that I named. Okay. I'm gonna do my in-cab inspection. Seatbelt 1. I adjusted my seat, they go together. Adjusted my seat, seatbelt 1, and adjusted seat is 1. Safe start is 2. Okay. Make sure my truck auxiliary, put it on neutral, check my brakes, and turn the truck on. That's 2, safe start. Okay. Now notice, I'm working this half of the windshield. I'm gonna work my way in. Next, number 3 is gonna be my hood mirrors and door mirrors. Not cracked, not broken, not damaged, that's to me. Next comes my wipers right in front of me. That's number 4, wipers and washer fluid. Next comes my windshield. That's number 5. Next, what comes after my windshield? I'm working towards me. What comes after my windshield?
Your gauges.
That's right. My gauges is number 6. What's number 7?
It's the
light indicators.
Yeah, the light indicators.
Light indicators. That's next. What comes next?
That's the horn.
The horns. That's number 8. What's number 9? I'm going to my right now.
The defrosters.
Heaters and defrosters. That's number 9. What's number 10? My FETs.
Yeah.
So those are the 10 things you have to name. They got all the points on end cap.
Okay.
Heater and defroster. Remember, put it all the way like that. Check defroster first, then put heater. Check the heater. And then FET, spare fuse is 6. In the glove box with my 3 reflector triangles, and then my fire extinguisher.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna start from there. I'm gonna turn it back on for a minute. I didn't let it sweep. Always let it sweep first. That was a rookie mistake. Always let it sweep. All right, so we just finished my end cap. So I showed you guys the 10 things you gotta name, right?
Yes.
And in that order, learn how to do them in that order. And it'll be easy to work them. All right, so now I just finished my in-cab inspection. Before I start my air brake test, what do I want to do? I want to what? I want to pump my brake down to 60 before I start my air brake. The reason I want to do that because I want to make sure that my governor works. All right. There it is. My light came on. See, it says brake, air brake. See, it came on. See how they came on? See how the little red lights came on? And that one came on. See, it's telling me that my light came on. Now I'm going to build it up because I want to what? I want to hear my gauges fill up between 120 and 140, and I want to hear my truck sneeze. Let me know that my governor works. So as soon as I finish my in-cab, that's what I want to do. I want to pump it down and build it back up because I want to hear my truck sneeze. Just hold it. On this truck here, we don't go past 15, so you want to hold at least close to 15. All we doing is waiting for what? For the governor to sneeze, for the truck to sneeze. Let me know what? That my tanks are full, my tanks are full of air. I'm just testing it out now to make sure it works. I don't want to assume that it's working. I'm testing it out now before I do my air brake test. I already know where it's going to sneeze at because I've worked this truck before. So you see the needle? The needle's going to get close to 140 before it sneezes. So that's your primary and that's your secondary. See 1 and 2? Yeah. So that's your primary, that's your secondary air tanks. So watch, when it gets close to 140, this one will catch up with it. Primary will catch up with it in a minute. One is faster than the other because we got an air leak. But watch when it gets to 140. Because remember, if you just go on this, how about if another truck sneezes?
Yeah.
So you got to know when your gauge sneezes too. Now watch. Getting closer. So now I'll start listening very careful because it's getting closer to 150. See that? Yes. Now watch. Now look how close that thing was.
Yeah.
And look, the primary was around 140. So that's the really one you want to look at, the primary. So close to 140. So again, I know that my air tanks are full because my governor sneezed. Now I can go into my air brake test. So before I do my air brake test, I want to do my what? My 5 steps. I know the 5 steps, right?
I just was reading it too. I forgot it. There's 5 steps before it. I forgot it. I just
So here's the 5 steps. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna walk you back through the 5 steps. Number 1, make sure my truck is in neutral.
Neutral.
It is.
Yeah.
This is a neutral. That's 1.
Brakes.
Number 2, key off.
Key off.
Remember, I haven't touched. Don't touch the brakes or nothing. Don't touch none of that. Number 3, key on to auxiliary. Watch my ABS light come on and off. Watch my gauges sweep. That's number 3. Okay. What's number 4?
Brake supply.
Push the parking brakes in. That's your tractor. That's number 4. What's number 5?
Trailer.
Push the tractor, but I'm gonna wait for a minute till that settles in. Right there. Now I'm gonna go to trailer. I'm not in a rush. That's number 5. Okay. So again, I'll build my air tanks up. I'll make sure that it sneezes. Then I'm gonna do my 5 steps. 1, neutral. Key off 2. Key on 3. Parking brakes 4. Trailer brakes 5. Neutral. Key off. Key on. Parking brakes. Trailer brakes. Now I can do what? I can put my foot on the brakes and hold it for 1 minute. I should lose no more than 4 psi within that 1 minute. My minute starts now. If I have a watch or hold it, don't replace it. Don't do this. Don't do that. No. Once you hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to what?
60.
Unless the examiner says, okay, good, go next. Okay. You hold 60. Then you be like, okay, I didn't lose no more than 4 psi. Next, I'm going to fan it down. I'm going to pump it down to 60 psi. and my low air warning buzzer light should come on. So I should be able to see it here. Right here, watch. See? There it is. Look. You see how it's coming on? See the red dot?
Yeah.
There they go. They both came on.
Yeah.
You get it here, and then you get the two little red dots.
Mm-hmm.
So my low air warning and buzzer light came on. Next, I'm gonna fan down to between 40 and 20, and my brakes should pop out, or they should engage. Okay? My parking brakes and tractor. There we go. Let's pump that baby. Now remember, oh, you see what happened there?
Yeah.
Until you see the T for the other one, you keep pumping. Till you have 0 air in there. Keep pumping till you see that joint pop. Don't assist it. Don't touch it. Now they both popped out.
Yeah.
That completes my air brake test.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna do my second safe start. But before I do my second safe start, right? Turn it up. I do what?
Okay.
I'm gonna uncheck my wheel. All right, I come back in, and now I do my second safe start. Make sure my truck. Remember, safe start. Truck is neutral.
Truck is neutral.
Brakes did pop out.
Yeah. Key
Turn
to
the key on. Make sure my
gauge is
ABS light
sweet.
came on. My gauge is sweet.
Yeah.
That is sweet. Now I'm gonna turn the truck
Ignition
on.
on.
All right. Now I want to build my air tank back up between 120 and 140, and my truck should sneeze. Same as earlier.
1500 RPM.
All I can do is just wait till that thing comes around. Just relax a little. When y'all go home, write them down. Write in cab, all the way to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What's first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Write the parts down first. You know what I'm saying? Then the air brakes. What are the steps? Before I do the air brakes, I gotta make sure I pump my brake down to 60, build my air pressure back up, and then do my 5 steps, and then do my air brake test. I gotta write it down like that way y'all can see it. Write it down that way y'all can understand it. In cab, 10 things. Pump my brakes down to 60, build it back up. 5 steps, air brake test. That's how you do it. That's how you write it down. Keep it in the order that I just did it. Relax, just hold that pedal down and wait. See the gauges, it's starting to come around now. I'm waiting for the truck to sneeze so I can do my what? What's next? So my tug test.
Tug test, yeah.
There it comes. So my governor's still working. My air tanks are full. Now I'm gonna go ahead. I just finished my air brake test. I'm gonna do my tug test. So the first thing I want to do, I like to put it on dry first. I want to push in my parking brake to test my trailer brakes. It's not moving. Let me make sure that's working. Let me redo it again. So that's working good. My trailer brakes are working good. I'll bring this out. I leave it on dry. I want to push in my tractor to test my trailer brakes. And always remember, the one that I touch is not the one I'm testing. If I touch this one, I'm not testing that one. I'm testing this one. I'm testing my trailer brakes. You understand that? Huh?
Yeah.
The one I touch,
It's
if
the
I touch
opposite.
it, I'm not testing that one.
Yeah.
I'm testing that one over there. All right. Let me test my tractor. That's working good. Now I bring that out, put it on neutral, and explain my service brakes and my speedometer. All right, I just finished my chuck test. Now I'm gonna do my service brake test. I want to go 8 to 10 feet. I'm gonna test my service brakes and my speedometer to make sure they're working. All right. So on here, I put my foot on the brakes. Release these two first. The other one always goes in first before red and comes out first. Put it on drive. Before I move, watch, make sure there's no pedestrian or obstacles around me before I move. And now I'm going to keep an eye on my speedometer, make sure nobody's around me. Get off the brakes, give it some gas. Give it some gas, watch the speedometer move. Oh, see how I move? Now give it a nice smooth brakes. My truck didn't go right or left, so the first thing I want to do is pull this out, put it on neutral, explain to him, hey, my service brakes are working, my speedometer gauge is working, that completes my test. Would you like for me to push it back? Yes? Okay. I'm going to release both brakes, put my foot on the brakes, release both of these.